In the first part of our DBMM integration series, I explained what DCS-BIOS MATRIC middleware is and why it is a huge productivity booster when building your virtual DCS cockpit with MATRIC. We also did our master warning button binding as an example. In this video, I hope to demonstrate how to do displays, switches and sliders and rotaries. Again, I'll use JF17 as the module for demo, but the same principles apply to all modules. To make a JF17 UFCP display, I will choose a ready-made display from the library, which comes pre-installed, and drop it on my deck. In DBMM, I have already selected relevant variables containing the text for UFCP display, and all I have to do now is bind display text to DCS variable. I will click the X on the control properties and select the appropriate variable. Since this variable is a string and our control text is also a string, we don't have to do any transformations. Just save the deck and let's see if it works. We typically use rotaries and sliders when we want to emulate their cockpit counterparts. We will feed DCS World with dynamic values set by rotating or sliding on MATRIC screen. Rotaries and sliders in MATRIC have the same function. They output their position as a number between 1 and 100. The only difference is the screen gesture we perform to change the value. I will choose a nice rotary from the library, drop it on the deck and bind the value of rotary to HUD_bright_KNB. It's the HUD brightness knob, by going to Advanced Properties and selecting a variable. Since DCS stores that variable as a 16-bit integer, meaning a number between 0 and 65,535, and our rotary can only accept a number from 0 to 100, we will have to use calculation function to convert DCS value to something our rotary can display. We will save the deck and our rotary should respond to DCS cockpit rotary being turned. What I want to do next is make my rotary control the HUD brightness in DCS. I will add an action to rotary's value changed event. I will change the magic variable DBMM is watching called DCS_input_command. We want to send a command to DCS whenever we turn the rotary. Since this value is dynamic, we will use calculation function in set variable action. DCS-BIOS command syntax is, it's always a string. It starts with the variable name, space, and in our case variable value. We could also do increment or decrement, but in our case we want to set it to exactly the rotary position we have set in MATRIC. Because our rotary outputs values in range of 0 to 100 and DCS expects the range from 0 to 65,535, we will have to do some math in JavaScript to transform our range to the range of values that DCS expects. Save the deck and our rotary is bound to DCS both ways. The slider works exactly the same as rotary, and I will just configure it in exactly the same way as I did with the rotary. I'll just copy all of these calculation functions and I will bind it to the same variable. Click here, paste it, and HUD brightness knob. That's it. Test it. It's okay. Save. Now we need to add the command, also change variable command, our magic DCS variable, DCS input command, and I will copy everything from our rotary. Copy, and we'll paste it here. Paste it here and test. Looks okay. Okay, let's save the deck and see how it works on tablet and DCS. So I'm moving controls on the tablet, and hot brightness is changing in DCS, and when I change the hot brightness in DCS, my bound controls on MATRIC deck also move. Switches are a common item in aircraft cockpits, and MATRIC supports switches with up to 6 positions. For the sake of brevity, I'll do an example with a common 3-position switch often found in aircrafts, the master arm switch. Let's find it in library, 3-position switch. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, and I will bind it to the master arm switch variable. Fortunately, MATRIC switch positions can be mapped directly to DCS master arm switch, so no programming required. Okay, save it, and let's see how it looks in DCS. Okay, I'm moving the master arm control switch in DCS, and master arm control switch in MATRIC is moving to the corresponding position. So far so good. And now the hard part. We need to send DCS-BIOS commands whenever our switch position changes. So there will be plenty of actions to add. We will send DCS master underscore arm underscore SW space and the position we want to set it to when we transition our switch in MATRIC from one state to another. Okay, just one more. Okay, so this is 2 to 1. Okay, save it, and let's see how it looks in DCS. Mind you, the stream from the tablet is a bit laggy. In reality, it reacts much faster. You can even see here that the change in DCS happens before the change is seen in tablet, which is impossible because I'm triggering everything from tablet. Okay, so that's it for multi-position switch.
The completed JF17 deck can be found in MATRIC Community Gallery, link is in the description, as well as variables configuration file that can be imported into DBMM. That's it for today. If you have questions or suggestions, do not hesitate to ask on our Discord. And as always, hit like and subscribe. I always wanted to say that since no YouTube video is complete without it.